Day 2 of a murder trial that has transformed a campus community. Good evening. This is CTV News for this Wednesday, November 14th. I'm Patricia Vallone. Well, it is the second day of the trial of the former Bowie State University student accused of stabbing her roommate to death. Alexis Simpson could spend the rest of her life in jail if convicted of first-degree murder. On the stand today were two fellow students who witnessed the tragic incident. Denise Douglas has the details from Upper Marlboro.
We're getting a clearer picture of what happened that tragic night on Bowie State University's campus when Alexis Simpson allegedly stabbed Dominique Frazier to death. Prosecutors brought two witnesses to the stand today, Dominique's friend and a roommate of hers. Now, both of them described just a very happy scene before everything really went down. They were getting ready for a comedy show as part of the homecoming celebrations, and then things quickly turned sour when Dominique and Alexis started arguing and then fighting over the volume of an iPod. The ladies were pulled apart, but then went at it again before Alexis allegedly stabbed Dominique. And this was not their first run-in. The two exchanged words a few weeks before. According to a witness, Alexis cursed at Dominique about being gay. On another occasion, they bumped heads in the cafeteria. Now, prosecutors have been arguing that Alexis was the instigator in each incident. Her attorneys maintain she was attacked by Dominique and her friends and ultimately jumped by them on that night last September that the stabbing occurred. 20-year-old Alexis is facing life in prison if she's convicted of what she's charged, which is first-degree murder. And again, she could spend the rest of her life in prison. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
And the trial is expected to wrap up tomorrow. Well, the Council of Governments discusses a draft report this afternoon regarding 911 service gaps and recommendations to correct emergency communication problems. The multi-jurisdictional work came about after Verizon emergency service disruptions in the region during the June 29th Derecho storm, including power disruption at the Bowie Central office.
138 days ago, the COG region made history. It was a day after the storm. And on that day, as we all know now, as we just heard from Glenn, we in the National Capital Region experienced the largest, the longest duration, affecting the most people of a 911 outage in the 44 years that 911 has been in existence.
The cause of Verizon's failure was the impact related to the failure of two backup generators in two of their local offices in Arlington and Fairfax County. Those backup generators support the infrastructure, the 911 infrastructure, and their ability to view their existing network and infrastructure.
The top 5 recommendations for Verizon include adoption of a national incident management system model, 911 interruption notification, a semi-annual emergency outage drill, monthly updating of a contact list, and requiring an emergency operations center representative. You can view the full report at the Council of Governments website by logging on to cog.org. Well, a health group in Maryland proposes another increase to the state's current $2 cigarette tax. Proponents of the hike say it will help reduce teen smoking and save millions of dollars in the long term. CTV's Molly Navola is in Annapolis with more.
Well, the Maryland Healthcare for All Coalition joined students and faith leaders here in front of the State House in Annapolis. They're calling for a $1 increase in the state tobacco tax. They're saying it will help reduce tobacco-related deaths and provide funding for other healthcare needs across the state.
We've heard from our teenagers who understand the causal relationship between smoking and the purchase price of those cigarettes, so we can reduce that. So that's a significant step. A dollar would mean a great deal to those teenagers. For those people who will continue to smoke, will have to pay that tax. That tax, therefore, could allow us to use the monies to provide health care for all throughout the state of Maryland. It's not like other taxes because this is a tax that you can easily avoid.
Raising cigarette tax by another $1 will save thousands of lives and reduce teen smoking and smoking overall. Just like over the last 15 years, we've reduced smoking in Maryland by 32%, double the national average by increasing the cigarette tax. We're going to build on that success.
In our platform and in our Constitution, we support anything that goes towards eliminating tobacco products and the use of them by youth. So we knew automatically that this was something we needed to support.
Now, if this tax hike does come to pass, it would be the fourth in a decade for the state of Maryland. Most notably, lawmakers doubled the state tax from $1 to $2 in 2007. Reporting in Annapolis, Molly Nivola, CTV News.
And Maryland's cigarette tax is the 11th highest in the nation. If the increase is approved, it would be the 6th highest. An early morning fatal shooting leaves one man dead and authorities working to identify suspects and a motive for the crime. Mount Rainier police say an adult male was shot multiple times just after 4:30 a.m. in the 3800 block of 37th Street. He was transported to Prince George's Hospital Center where he was pronounced dead. Anyone with information on the case is asked to call Prince George's or Mount Rainier police departments. Well, the American dream of owning a home is now put on hold for many residents. This after the Prince George's Department of Housing and Community Development announced that the nearly $2 million in federal funds for the My Home program have now been depleted. The program helps buyers with down payment assistance. Many realtors are upset and say the housing department should have told them sooner, which would have allowed their clients to plan accordingly. A spokesperson for the housing department says the lack of funds is only temporary and that they're sending a proposal to HUD next week and will likely have approval of more money in December. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.